Hi there, welcome to the Riley Strain case. I wanted to look back to the beginning of the case and how it all developed by reading and analysing the complete timeline of what happened to Riley Strain from start to finish. Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions as we do go along this video, whether that be your comments down below under this video, or if you're currently hearing this live premiere, welcome. Share your thoughts there on the right hand side where the live chat is. Okay, got an article today. Shout out for Skeptical for bringing it up. I can take a look at it, fill in certain grey areas which I may have not seen or acknowledged beforehand, see if I can make sense of the situation or check out for any contradictions or anything of interest which may have been overlooked. You never know. The case is still ongoing. There are still mysteries. The second autopsy report, I believe, still ongoing. The toxicology report's still ongoing. So in this moment of uncertainty, let's look back at the certainty of events playing out and look at the timestamps, the dates, and all of that. Okay? If you do want to catch up on my recent videos out of interest, top right corner of the screen where the eye symbol is, click on that. If you do want to catch or check my comments out down below the pinned comment section, some additional links, if you want to view them, feel free to do so. But without further ado, let's just get straight into this timeline. Here we are. The article reads, a complete timeline of missing student Riley Strain's disappearance. Riley Strain, 22-year-old University of Missouri student, was found dead 2 weeks after he went missing on March 8th, 2024. Does it give the article? Yeah, people.com. We the people, I guess. Now there is another article we can take a look at, but I don't know if I'll incorporate it in this video because it is a more newer one. But there's a photo of Riley from previous. Updated on April 17th, 2024, I guess this article. It says, Riley Strain was found dead 2 weeks after he disappeared. Okay. Went missing after he was asked to leave Luke Bryan's bar in Nashville on March 8th. 22-year-old last seen by his friends at the bar. Luke's 32 Bridge Food and Drink, according to the police department. Strain was travelling with his Delta Chi fraternity brothers to Nashville for their spring formal, per the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. However, after he left the bar around 10 p.m, his friends lost touch with him. Now, I don't know if it'll mention it further up, lower down, but I'll just add it in just to make it complete. So the Luke's 32 Bridge Food and Drink was the final bar Riley went to with the fraternity brothers. They actually went to 3 other bars beforehand, one of which was the Kid Rock bar, and there was 2 others which I can't remember the name of, but there was like a map analysis and they were all close together. So if I'm going from bar to bar and drinking, you probably could get drunk, but there are obviously more chances that your drink could be spiked in the area, because from what the parents said in an interview when they spoke to some Uber driver or drivers, they reported on strange stuff going on in that area, such as spikings, which isn't a good look, is it? I just thought I'd add that in now, just in case it doesn't mention it within this article. Right. So he left the bar around 10 p.m, Riley did, at the final bar stop. His friends lost touch with him. Now, at the time of when leaving, there was the conversation between Riley and his friends, and Riley said, I'll meet you back at the hotel. And then that was it. Riley alone. Riley Strain had told them he was going back to their hotel. Yes, his stepfather, Christopher Whitehide, told Post-Dispatch. However, he wasn't there when his friends returned, and the following day they reported him missing to the police. But it took 14 hours. There was a 14 hours of silence, not doing anything, right? The friends reached out to the parents, the mother, but they did not report him as missing to the police immediately. They just got on with things. They didn't panic much, they didn't search much. There was lackluster behaviour. The family had said that with time, their friends weren't exactly cooperative, did not help the family. The family had to get help and reach out themselves in hopes of getting a response from the fraternity brothers. as well, fraternity brothers and the parents of them, basically withheld key photos and videos on the night of Riley's disappearance. I don't know if they've come out yet to the public, but they were resisting sharing it, so suspicion there. Anyway, so as 2 weeks later, Strain's body was found in the Cumberland River in Nashville, the MNPD said in a statement on Twitter. From the night he went missing to the evidence that has since been released, here's a complete timeline. Wow. So that was a summary, but this is the proper timeline now. That's good to know. Because at first, when I was reading that article, I was thinking, what's going on here? Is it just a mismatch of things? But no, it looks like it is organised. March 8th, the day of Riley Strain's disappearance, after he was asked to leave Luke Bryan's bar around 10 p.m. or just after. There's a photo of Riley. Strain was going out with his friends to multiple bars. That's true, before he went missing. Whiteye told people that he was at a different bar when he FaceTimed his mother sometime before 8 p.m. He was inside with his friends, Whiteye said, adding that the group was playfully giving her a hard time because she was already in bed. Right, so this is a key bit of information I wasn't aware of to begin with. I was only aware of the conversation via a text message between Riley and his mom when it came to the drink tasting a bit funny, but I'm sure that's probably mentioned later on in this timeline, so let's not confuse anything here, okay? So it says, going out with friends, multiple bars, yes. And Riley, white-eyed, told people that he was at a different bar when he FaceTimed his... So Riley FaceTimed his mum at a different bar. So not Luke's bar, another one. Right, yes, because it says before 8 p.m. earlier on into the night. Okay. In quotes, he was inside with his friends. There we go. And they did follow all the way through up until the final bar. Playfully messing about. Fair enough. Eventually, the group ended up at Luke's 32 Bridge Food and Drink before Strain was escorted out of the establishment. It never really seemed to mention why Strain was escorted out. Did he not follow guidelines? Was he misbehaving? Was he boisterous? Did he come across as a threat? Is it because of the side effects from whatever he may have drunk? Was his drink spiked and there was room for concern in his behaviour by the public in there or the bar staff? I wonder. Because it's okay saying Strain was escorted or told to leave the bar, but it never mentions why. Why exactly? Anyway, in quotes, this article reads, during Riley's visit to Luke's 32 Bridge, our records show he purchased and was served 1 alcoholic drink and 2 waters. The TC Restaurant Group, which oversees Bryan's establishment, told people in a statement on March 15th at 9:35 p.m, our security team made a decision based on our conduct standards to escort him from the venue through our Broadway exit at the front of our building. Conduct standards. So based on how you behave and act within the establishment, you've got to be a certain way, and if you don't meet those guidelines and rules, you're kicked out, basically. Okay. Still vague, isn't it? So the security team made a decision that Riley wasn't fit or suitable to being in there. But what did Riley do to cause that trouble? What did Riley do or say to cause him to be escorted out of the place? Why can't it just mention it with clarity? Why does still being vague, I wonder, right? Scroll up. The statement continued. He was followed down the stairs with 1 member of his party. The individual with Riley did not exit and returned upstairs. So I'm wondering if that 1 member, one of the fraternity brothers, did actually follow Riley. Which, that would be a positive thing, right? I mean, why was he followed down by one of his friends? If that friend was then to later return back upstairs to hang out with the rest of the fraternity brothers. Maybe that's when the conversation went down between Riley and that 1 member by saying, hey, I'm all right. I'll make it back to the hotel. I'll meet you there. And then the friend was like, okay, sure. And then went back upstairs. So if Riley said, Well, if Riley never said what he originally said, then maybe that one member, that one fraternity brother, would have guided him back to the hotel and Riley would have been safe and alive. Possibly. You get what I'm saying? Because before reading this and hearing about it, I was wondering, so Riley was just kicked out immediately and all his brothers remained in the bar and did nothing to help him or escort him back home. But how it's worded here, it looked like one of the members was in the process of doing it, because if you are going to stay, there'd be no need to follow Riley out of the building, right? And although the member did not actually exit the building, it looked like they were on the way because Riley was heading in that direction. Whiteye told People that Strain's fraternity brothers told him they attempted to leave with Strain, but the bouncers wouldn't let them out with him, that they were trying to get their bill paid. Okay. That's good information to point out. The bouncers wouldn't let them out. Whiteye told People. So when it says Whiteye told People, because it's in capital letters, does that mean people as in this article, this website called people.com, I assume? Strain's fraternity brothers told him. Who's him? What, what do you call it, father-in-law? Stepfather, I mean. Right. I just find it weird. Bouncers wouldn't let them out with Riley because of the bill. Well, can't one of the brothers stay behind, or two of them, and then the rest follow Riley out? I mean, if this really is true, why would the bouncers not allow any of them to leave and follow Riley out? Why did they all have to stay behind when one or two of them could pay for the bill, possibly? You get what I'm saying? And, whilst it says all of them weren't allowed to leave except Riley, what about that one member, as it was stated here, that basically followed Riley downstairs and then went back upstairs? That was one individual. Was at least that person allowed to go, right? If the majority had to stay behind because of the bill or whatever, the cost of it all, couldn't at least one of the fraternity brothers be allowed to leave with Riley at the time? It's weird. It's like one obstacle after another, right? So, while some people could say, oh, the fraternity brothers did not follow him out, did not guide him home when he was vulnerable, right? And you could say, well, they're to blame for his disappearance. But then you could say, well, if they weren't allowed to leave for whatever reason, the security held them back, then you could say the blood's on the security's hands indirectly, right? Very weird. Strain's family told WKRN-TV that their son's last cell phone location was less than a mile from the bar between Gay Street and James Robertson Parkway. 12 minutes after he left the bar, surveillance video saw the business student crossing the street at First Avenue and Gay Street. I think that's the one that we looked at where he was stumbling about. Strain was last seen on video 5 minutes later at 9:52 p.m. March 9th, Riley Strain is reported missing. Whiteye told the Post-Dispatch that after Strain left the bar, he texted his friends to tell them he was going to the hotel. However, his friends were unable to find his location using Snapchat, and their phone calls went directly to voicemail when they tried to reach him. On Saturday, March 9th, one of the brothers ultimately reported Strain missing to authorities and told them of his attempts to reach him per the Post-Dispatch. Police also attempted to reach Strain's phone, but to no avail. They also checked local hospitals and jails, but he wasn't there. Well, when it says they checked local hospitals and jails, that's saying the police did that. Well, from the interview, the family did the hospitals, or at least on top of what the police were doing. Check the hospitals out. Yeah, I wonder if that will mention it lower down. The family said, the parents themselves said in that recent interview or so, that they spent at least 4 hours in the day on the 9th going about checking the hospitals in the area to see if he ended up at one of them, Riley. And that when they made it back and they were at or inside a truck, Some of Riley's fraternity brothers were coming back from the formal, the party, the gathering, whatever you want to call it, and they were happy, smiling, and being friendly, like what's previously happened the day before never happened. Not attempting in trying to search for Riley, too busy thinking about themselves and their party time, right? So I don't know if this article is going to mention it or not. The Delta Chi brothers phoned Whitehide and Strain's mother, Michelle Whitehide, in the morning to let them know their son was missing. The Whitehides hit the road within 30 minutes, Whitehide told People, the website. In quotes, I was literally getting ready to tee off on the golf course when my wife called me, and I turned around, went and loaded all my stuff off the golf cart and told my friend that I was sorry I had to leave, he said. March 12th, Luke Bryan says he is praying for Riley Strain's safe return. News of Strain's disappearance reached Bryan himself, who posted his bar's statement on his Instagram story. TC Restaurant Group, operator and owner of Luke's 32 Bridge, is continuing to work closely with the Metro Nashville Police Department to provide security camera footage and any other potentially helpful information to aid in the search for Riley Strain, the statement read. Our thoughts are with his family and loved ones for his safe return. And we saw in the last article or so where it said about trying to get hold of CCTV footage from the inside, just in case there was any suspicious behaviour from anyone, if there was any spikings of Riley's drink. Above the message, Bryan wrote, "Y'all, this is scary, praying for his safe return." He added another slide to his story, reposting a tweet that included photos of Strain and a number to call with any tips or sightings. If you have any information that could help, please reach out to the number above, he wrote. March 12th, a surveillance video shows Riley Strain stumbling after leaving the bar. I believe that's the one what we looked at. There's a photo of Riley. Same day, late in the evening, Metropolitan Nashville Police Department released surveillance footage of Strain stumbling while crossing the street. In the video, Strain crosses the street with a group of people and steps in the direction he originally came from before continuing on down the street. Yeah, group of people. Steps in the direction he originally came from. Well, he stopped at the crossing, looking around him when two females were walking past. He then continued walking, surpassing them. Got onto the crossing and then got onto the pathway, public walkway, sidewalk, and then suddenly stopped, turned around again, let the two females walk past, and it looked like he was going to walk back the way he came, but then he suddenly turned back round again and then was walking behind him. So, a little bit unusual. Detectives continue to pursue tips and investigative leads concerning missing person Riley Strain, 22. Seen wearing a two-tone shirt, I think it was black and white, is seen in this video crossing First Avenue to Gay Street, right to left, at 9:47 p.m. Friday. Have info about him? Please call, and there's the number. A local business downtown smoke and vape shop also provided surveillance footage to the WZTV of Strain stumbling and falling around 9:46 p.m. The police confirmed on Twitter that he had a helicopter and detectives searched the area. Then we got another timestamp here. March 13th, Riley Strain's family speaks to People, the website, about ongoing search for their son. After they arrived in Nashville, Whitehide and his wife drove around to every emergency room for about 4 hours in the area, but didn't find their son or anyone who matched his description there. On March 10th, they visited where Strain's cell phone had last been located and were joined by other family members to look around the area. However, nothing came up. It's killing us, Whitehide said, because we don't know what's going on. We can't find him. A detective assigned to the case told Whitehide that no one matching Strain's description was found in the morgue or was picked up by an ambulance or taken to the emergency room. It wasn't good news, but it wasn't bad news, Whitehide said. It was news that we still have opportunities to find him. He added in his conversation with People a plea to Strain, letting him know that they would keep searching for him. In quotes, "We're looking for you. We're not leaving until we have you. We're going to be with you at graduation and everything's going to be fine," he said. "We're going to get you. We know you're out there." March 13th, authorities begin investigating whether Riley Strain was overserved at the bar. Overserved, what, given too much? The Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission launched an investigation into whether Strain was served alcohol despite being visibly intoxicated. Right, so because of multiple bar visits earlier on in the night, an accumulation of that could have resulted in Riley already being drunk. And if you pass a certain limit, you're probably not going to be allowed any more alcohol depending on the limits, the guidelines within a specific bar. In quotes, there are no specific rules or statutes that governs escorting out intoxicated patrons from their business or providing assistance in getting someone home. TABC Communication Director Aaron Rummage told People in a statement, however, state law prohibits serving alcohol beverages to someone who is visibly intoxicated. A violation is a Class A misdemeanor. TABC has opened an investigation into this matter to see if any violations have occurred. TC Restaurant Group added in a statement to People on March 15th that they were cooperating with the police by providing any information necessary. This information included all security camera footage, photos of Riley at our establishment with detailed timestamps, transaction records and staff accounts per the statement. Additionally, we proactively engaged in communication with the Tennessee Alcoholic Beverages Commission and will continue to communicate and provide any records needed to aid their ongoing investigation. March 17th, Riley Strain's bank card is found along a riverbank. 10 days after he went missing, 2 women, Anna Clemdenning and Brandy Bainan, found Strain's bank card along a riverbank on the embankment between Gay Street and the Cumberland River. In quotes, I don't really know how we found it, Clemdenning told. I would love to say just dumb luck and divine intervention. It was just sitting there. Bainan added, something needed to be found, we found something. I don't know if that's something enough. I don't know if people were talking about how these women were from TikTok or TikTok true crimers. I'm not quite sure. While the outlet reported that a body was found in the Cumberland River the same day, the Nashville Fire Department confirmed the individual did not match Strain's body description. Oh, a separate person. Police confirmed foul play was not suspected in Strain's disappearance. But was there any foul play in that other body being found in the Cumberland River then? A body found in Cumberland River, so more than one body, one being someone else, the other one being Riley Strain at a later point. Well, I think that would be a bit of concern going on, right? If it's just Riley, bit of a mystery. If it's more than one person, is there a pattern, right? March 18th, police released body camera footage of Riley Strain talking to a police officer. The MNPD released body camera footage of one of their officers, Reginald Young, running into Strain on the night he disappeared. Included in their post on Twitter that Young and Strain had a brief exchange of greetings and the college student did not seem distressed. Really? Young was posted on Gay Street in response to a vehicle burglary call when Strain seemingly initiated a conversation with him as he walked down the sidewalk. In quotes, how are you doing, sir? Young asked Strain, who replied, I'm good, how are you? Strain then walked away whilst Young remained on the street for another 45 minutes per the police. Though the MNPD didn't say what time the footage was taken, they reiterated that no videos have been discovered that shows Riley away from Gay Street after the 9:52 p.m. timeframe. March 19th, a message sent from Riley Strain's phone on the night he went missing is released publicly. Okay, that's what I remember. Strain's family friend, Chris Dingman, told News Nation that the last text message Strain sent was to a woman he was seeing who asked how he was doing the night he disappeared. Good lops, Strain replied, per Dingman. Right, I don't remember seeing that before. The woman didn't know what the message meant and even turned to the internet. Dingman said Strain's mom, Michelle, said she was not sure who the woman was in a separate interview with the outlet. Last text message from Strain was sent to a woman he was seeing. Right, so what, girlfriend? Was that basically it? Or on the verge of becoming a girlfriend? Right. In quotes, he's got several friends that are male. I don't know the individual he talked to at the time, she added. However, in a press conference the following day, the family said they didn't know for certain who Strain's last text message was to. Right. We know that Riley was possibly texting and communicating with multiple people. We don't know the exact timeline or who the last person was they said. March 20th, 2024, Riley Strain's mum reveals the last text message she received from her son. Now this is the one. Michelle Whitehide told People the last time she talked to Strain and how he had FaceTimed her from what she thought was Garth Brooks' bar. Yes, that's one of them. And that was earlier on in the night. I think Garth Brooks' bar may have been the second bar, the third bar being the Kid Rock one, then the fourth being Luke's bar. Okay? In quotes here, it says, "We FaceTimed for a while. He wanted me to see around and he was so excited," she said. "Then we hung up and he texted me and he was like, 'It was kind of hard to hear you, but I wanted you to see what was happening.' In quotes, I said, 'Well, you boys be safe, make good choices, I love you guys.' And he said, 'I love you too,' she added. And that's it. That's the last time I heard from him." Is that so? What about the text message? March 20th, 2024. Riley Strain's stepfather says his family are having difficult conversations as the search continues. Nearly 2 weeks after Strain first went missing, Whitehide told ABC News that the family was starting to have conversations about his fate that they didn't want to have. In quotes, "Everybody knows that, everybody's thinking it, those conversations are starting to happen," he said. "It's not what we want, and I understand that people want to know what we're feeling. We're feeling frustrated, we're feeling hurt and depressed. Nobody knows what happened to Riley." March 21st, 2024, unreleased video footage shows Riley Strain walking towards a bridge. Strain's family told People that they saw an unreleased video of the Missouri student walking towards a bridge several days prior. It was the last known video of Riley, Whitehide told People. It was good to see him. Though the footage helped piece together Strain's path on the night he went missing, it's still unclear where he went after. We're looking for that next nugget right now. Just trying to find that so that we can move forwards. March 22nd, Riley Strain's body was found in Nashville River. Police announced that Strain's body was found 2 weeks after he first went missing. The body of Riley Strain was recovered from the Cumberland River in West Nashville this morning, approximately 8 miles from downtown. The MNPD said in a statement, "No foul play-related trauma was observed and an autopsy is pending." So no foul play, and also that there was no water found in his lungs. April 17th, 2024, Riley Strain's mom says he texted her about his drink not tasting good the night he died. Okay? As said, these dates are when things started coming out into the news and the public eye. Okay? So this text message is on the night, the 8th, of when Riley went missing, in case you're wondering. In an interview with News Nation, Michelle said that hours before he went missing, Riley, Strain texted her that a rum and coke he ordered didn't taste good, adding that it tasted like barbecue. Now, take in mind, this was at the final bar stop at Luke's bar, where Riley spent, 21 minutes in that bar? Ordered a rum and coke, then 2 glasses or bottles of water. There you go. She said, "Well, that sounds awful." She said she texted back. He said, "Well, it sounds good, but it's not. Maybe there was something in it that shouldn't have been." She previously said that her last message to her son was before he went to Brian's bar, so it's unclear where he consumed the beverage. Oh. People reached out to the TC restaurant group for comment, but did not receive an immediate response. Oh. Before he went to Brian's bar. Luke Brian's bar. So it's unclear where he consumed it. Well, to be honest, that ties in with my original analysis not long ago, saying that it could have happened at Kid Rock's bar. The third stop. That's very interesting, that. And that appears to be it here, because not much else has been mentioned. So I would say that that article was pretty much organised well, though a little bit disappointing in some areas. There is some information which I've not heard of before personally. And then the bit about the text message, final text message between Riley and the mother to do with the drink tasting funny. And that supposedly occurred before the final bar visit. So it happened earlier on in the night, meaning that when they got to Luke Bryan's bar, Riley was already showing signs of side effects, possibly, if his drink was spiked from earlier on. And then when that took full effect in his body and his bloodstream in his system, it became very apparent and obvious to the people around him, so that's why he was escorted out, possibly. I mean, it would make more sense Yeah. If that's the case, then if supposedly that rum and cola and the 2 glasses of water were ordered not at Luke Bryan's bar but a previous bar, then what did he order then in Luke's bar? Spending 21 minutes in there. He just stood around, he sat down. What did he actually do? And I do think there's a bit of a contradiction there within that article, because I'm sure I heard it worded by the stepfather that 21 minutes was spent in Luke's bar, but at that bar specifically, the rum and cola and the 2 glasses of water were ordered there and not before at Kid Rock's bar. So I think this article timeline may have got it a bit mixed up, which is a bit disappointing, if I'll be honest with you. But this is all part of the analysis as we go along. The other thing that it did fail to include within this timeline was the suspicious behaviour from the fraternity brothers, not reporting Riley missing, 14 hours of silence besides contacting the family, not really doing much. That the next day on the 9th, when the family came on down, the parents, and when they had to communicate with the police and doing some kind of report, filing it in, that when they got there, the fraternity brothers were interacting with the police, but as soon as that was done, they were already off, doing their own thing, going to that formal. So when the family the parents spent 4+ hours searching about for Riley in the emergency rooms, the ERs, in case he ended up hurt and taken to one. But when they finally made it back to a certain spot, some of the fraternity brothers were passing by and were acting like nothing ever happened. And then on top of that, any photos or videos taken on the night of Riley before going missing, all relevant within the case, weren't handed over. And I don't think there have been since. So very strange, right? And on top of that, autopsy report saying no foul play, but this article mentioned nothing about no water being found in the lungs, so it wasn't drowning, even though he ended up in the water. So this article is actually lacking in some of the latter parts of the case. Earlier on, it mentions the timestamps, the dates, and how things came out and when they did, but the latter stage of when I came on in to listen in, this article doesn't seem to mention it in the same depth. That's disappointing, but I wanted to add it in, and I wanted to add in any contradictions. You can do the same as well down below in the comments if you saw anything that was wrong or incorrect from the article, or if you want to add any information in which was missing from the article, feel free to do so down below. Hopefully you may have learnt something from this video or found it somewhat interesting. Be sure to catch up on my other videos here and there, and I believe I will have another video coming out later tonight on a different case, Kenny Veach. Be on the lookout for that. For now, thanks for watching, goodbye and good night.